There is some guy, some poor sap, some schlubby millennial feminist girly man who made an Instagram video of him singing a song about how great abortion is and how it's wonderful to have abortions. That it takes all of the dumbest arguments and slogans and just puts them all, condenses them all into 1 minute. Take a listen.
Some folks believe a life begins when egg meets sperm and want to force all pregnant women to carry to term. But their actions point to something that you wouldn't expect, that they think kids only matter when they're not born yet. They'll make sure family leave and childcare funding fails, take away their parents at the border and jail. Kids beg for climate action under crippling debt, while you show them they only matter when they're not born yet. If abortion was the issue, contraception would reduce it. Oh, but wouldn't you know, certain people made it difficult for everyone to use it. Whoa. Publicly shame them if they can't afford lunch, refuse to keep schools safe from COVID or guns. For once I wish their actions would disprove what I've said, that they think kids only matter when they're not born yet.
Okay, so this boils down to one slogan in particular that you've heard very ignorant leftists use for a long time, that Republicans, they're not pro-life, they're pro-birth. They only care about kids when they're in the womb. But then they don't like kids or something, right? So he wants me to he says, I wish they would disprove my points. So, okay, let's disprove the points. This is a short video. Let's go through every single one of them. He posted it on TikTok. All the stupidest stuff in the world, I noticed these days, is on TikTok. You may have noticed that the economy is going completely insane these days, and prices are going way, way up, and income is not going way, way up, and a lot of people are worried about the direction of our economy. Well, one way to hedge your investments is with physical gold. Now, I know what you're thinking. Michael, I can't afford a physical gold or physical precious metals. You can actually for as little as $30 a month. No, I can't, Michael, you're a liar. Before you call me a liar, check out what Acre Gold is doing. You subscribe to their gold bars for $30 a month. Once your gold stash reaches the price of their gold bars, they will discreetly ship Acre Gold to your door. They've got a new $100 a month subscription to a 5-gram gold bar. I love it. I have really enjoyed investing in physical precious metals and in Acre Gold. Right now, you can go visit acregold.com/Knowles, Knowles. Start investing in physical gold today. Make sure you go to that URL because Acre is giving away a gold bar. To qualify for the giveaway, tweet or post why you should be the recipient and mention @get_Acre. That is getacregold.com/Knowles. Thank you, Acre Gold, for supporting the show. Let's roll the tape.
Some folks believe a life begins when egg meets sperm.
Pause. That is not just what some folks believe. That is what the science says. when egg meets sperm, that creates a life. It has all of the characteristics of a life, and it is not merely a part of the father or of the mother, as a sperm or an egg cell might be, but it creates a new, unique human being with a unique genetic code that will continue to grow, that begins to grow, and that continues to grow into a human being until his death. They will continue to grow in that same sort of process with that same genetic code, in that same unique identity and life until their death. So it's not just what some people believe, that's what everyone believes, including a lot of pro-abortion people, by the way, the honest pro-abortion people. The only people who don't believe that are ignorant or stupid or both. Continue.
And want to force all pregnant women to carry to term.
Pause. They want to force all pregnant women to carry to term. That's one way to frame it. The other way to frame it is, some people believe that life begins at conception, namely every person with eyes and ears and two functioning brain cells. And so we don't think you should be able to kill that person for whatever reason, just willy-nilly. That you should not be able to kill innocent babies. Correct. Move on.
Their actions point to something that you wouldn't expect, that they think kids only matter when they're not born yet.
Pause. So this is his thesis. We've established they think the kids matter when they're in the womb. He seems to be implying that the left doesn't believe kids matter when they're in the womb. And his thesis is they only matter, they don't matter at all afterwards. Okay, why not?
They'll make sure family leave and childcare funding fails, take away their parents at the border and jail.
Pause. So first of all, a lot of Republicans and conservatives support family leave sorts of policies. Don't forget the Trump administration was pushing one. Even if you don't support family leave policies, one of the reasons that people don't support that is they don't want the government and the state to grow to take over the raising of children, because we believe that the family should take care of children. So we certainly support an economy that allows a mother to stay home with her child, for instance. We certainly support an economic policy that encourages people to have families. We certainly support local communities helping to raise up kids. We certainly support even the most mainstream, Chamber of Commerce Republican supports child tax care credits, for instance. But I also think it's just an outdated talking point, because so many conservatives these days are pushing for explicitly pro-family policies. Look at what Viktor Orban is doing in Hungary. Which is encouraging the growth of families, and look at how many conservatives support those kind of policies here. We've now become sort of Hungary-philic over here in the United States because we want that kind of policy. So it's also just dated kind of rhetoric. Keep going.
Kids beg for climate action under crippling debt, while you show them they only matter when they're not born yet.
Pause. So he says you're going to you're going to throw the parents in jail and separate them from the kids. First of all, that's not a Republican policy. That policy began under Bill Clinton. It continued under Barack Obama. The left only cared about it under Donald Trump, and now it's continuing to happen under Joe Biden. But even beyond that, what we're saying is don't come here. Yes, stay with your family. Stay with your family in your country, because we don't want to separate anybody, and we can't just have open borders. Continue.
Abortion was the issue, contraception would reduce it.
Pause. That's not true. That isn't true. So there is no evidence that contraception actually reduces abortion. Obviously, since the growth of contraception, you've seen an increase in the abortion rate during the 20th century. Nearly all, these are according to a number of studies, 99.1% of sexually experienced women in the U.S. have used contraception at some point. So everyone has access to conception, and basically everyone uses it at some point. 48% of women with unintended pregnancies were using contraception in the month they conceived. About half of pregnancies ended by abortion occur during the use of contraceptives. 10% of women using reversible forms of contraception become pregnant over 12 months of use. And among women at risk of unintended pregnancy, 89% use contraception. So that talking point, just complete BS. Even though contraception is available to everyone, complete BS. Keep going.
Oh, but wouldn't you know, certain people made it difficult for everyone to use it. Whoa. Publicly shame them if they can't afford lunch. Refuse to keep schools safe from COVID or guns.
Pause. Kids aren't at risk from COVID in any particular way. I'm not saying they have a 0% risk, but they have a very, very, very low risk from coronavirus. All of the science agrees with that. In terms of guns, we went through the numbers the other day, but people are at a far greater risk of dying from knives and from clubs and from hammers and bats than they are from AR-15s or really guns of any sort, other than if you're talking about Democrat-run cities with gang violence, with pistols, with all sorts of illegal weapons. But again, you can't really blame conservatives for that, can you? Keep going.
I wish their actions would disprove what I've said, that they think kids only matter when they're not born yet.
Not only have we disproved what you said with our facts and logic, but also I think with our actions we have. Conservatives are much more likely to donate to charity. Conservatives obviously are pushing a lot of crisis pregnancy centers, and conservatives are very likely to support adoption. And there are 36 couples willing to adopt every new baby in America who's put up for adoption. Complete BS. It just shows you that big difference between the appearance, what we're told from the left, the narratives that we were told by the ruling class, and the reality of the situation. And when people wake up to it, it is almost shocking to see the lies that we're all living in. I'm so glad you enjoyed that clip. That makes me feel really good. If you want to catch the whole show, you can do it here. Ring the bell, subscribe on YouTube. You get the whole show here. Or if you don't want to be censored quite as much as we are sometimes by our friends over here, then you can go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts for free, and subscribe to The Michael Knowles Show. Go do it. Maybe leave a 5-star review. That'd be nice. I'd appreciate it. We'll see you next time.